As we grow older into our 40s, 50s, 60s, and beyond, we're expected to slow down and to start taking it easy. After all, we've earned it after putting in decades of 9-to-5s. Now it's our chance, finally, to seek out as much comfort and pleasure as possible, and we tend to become set in our ways, unwilling to invite any sort of change into our lives, even though we know at some level that lifestyle adjustments might very well do us some good. Some of us seniors might even start thinking, maybe I should start going for more walks, or maybe hikes or bike rides, and perhaps I'd be better off eating a healthier diet. Well, a longtime friend of mine, Paul Webb, recently dropped by for a visit to our Desert Simple Ranch here in rural Tucson, Arizona. He was on his way to Tampa, Florida from San Diego, California. Surprisingly, Paul's trip isn't by airline, by car, or by train. No. Although Paul is 68 years old, 68, the same age as me, he's traveling cross-country by bicycle. And everything he owns is on that bike. Join me now in my Desert Simple Saguaro Studio for a conversation with Paul Webb. I'm joined by a longtime friend, fellow minimalist and fellow cyclist, Paul Webb, who has, you rode your bike here today, right?
I did. I left 12 days ago from San Diego, California, and I'm on a cross-country trip going across to...
Wait.
St.
Wait a minute.
Augustine,
You
Florida.
left home in San Diego 12 days ago.
Right.
And when you're done here, you're going to do what?
I'm going to continue riding across the country to St. Augustine, Florida, so I get the coast to coast. And then I'm going to go down to Tampa, Florida, and do some media production for this cross-country
Now
trip.
wait a minute here. Now, we've known each other for what, 15, 16,
Or
17
more, yeah.
years or something like that. And if I'm not mistaken, you were born in 1953?
Correct. And this is actually...
When I was born,
Yeah,
by the
this
way.
is actually my second time across
The
this
dude
year.
is 68 years old.
Yeah,
And he's already gone cross-country. How long ago?
Yeah, I started, 2 months ago I finished. So I started on April 20th of 2021, the summer, and I rode my bike to my 50-year high school reunion in Neptune, New Jersey. So Asbury Park is actually the coastal town right there. So I went from San Clemente, California in 89 days to my high school reunion, my 50th high school reunion in Asbury Park, New Jersey.
Unbelievable. So, but you must have had like a huge support team, like a bunch of RVs, full kitchen.
No, I had a friend. I told him I was going to do this and I was going to do it solo. And he looked at me and goes, "You're going to die." So he goes, "Let me give you..."
Now wait a minute. When you say solo, you mean
just riding my bike by myself, sleeping on the side of the road. Just with my gear.
You just have a tent, pitch a tent
That's
side
it.
of the road. And
Sleep
that's
behind a gas station in the middle of a cornfield. People would invite me to their home when they'd see what I was doing, and I'd stay maybe behind their garage. And
Unreal.
But a buddy of mine said, "Let me give you a van. You have to find the drivers, but a support van." And so I used on the first trip across America a support van from California to St. Louis, and then I didn't have any more drivers that would volunteer, so I had to crew myself. Drove the van to Washington, D.C., flew back, and then finished the rest of the ride solo.
Unbelievable.
And that gave me my first taste of riding unsupported, and I absolutely loved it.
Wow. So, and obviously it takes some fuel, a lot of energy to be able to make this kind of a trek. And so, what'd you have? Like a hibachi with a bunch of steaks and hamburgers and hot dogs?
No, I'm very fortunate that my lifestyle has been very minimal as far as the type of food that I eat. So I need very little, but there's two things I have to concentrate on.
So let me get right to the point, though.
Sure.
You're a raw food vegan.
Correct. So I've been doing this for 49 years.
Wow.
So when I was a vegetarian in the early 70s, I'd have to tell people I'm a vegetarian who doesn't eat dairy, because there is no such word as vegan.
Right.
So my consumption as I go across, I've always been very conscious about what I consume, both as for someone who's shopping and buying things, bringing my own bags into a grocery store, those types of things. Right. And for me, I found that my minimal diet fit perfect for riding day after day after day after day, sometimes 40, 50 miles a day with no recovery time. I mean, even my sports watch says, after a day of riding, I have to rest 4 days.
This is superhuman.
No, so I just keep on going. But I'm eating some very basic things, avocados, dates, cashews, and I have my own soup that I make out of a base mix that I put together, and I pre-ship it now across the country and drop ship it into general delivery and post offices.
Incredible, man.
So I have all this stuff ready because I can't carry it with me.
Right.
And I have to eat in the grocery store parking lots because it's too heavy for apples and oranges and avocados, and so I eat, and then I ride, and then I eat again, and then I pass out and sleep. And then I do the same thing again the next day.
Well, let me ask you this, because clearly this is crazy. Why are you doing it? What is it you're trying to accomplish?
The foundation happened really 30 years ago, and I was an examiner at a ski resort, and my job was to teach the new hires how to become ski instructors. And this guy shows up with brachial plexus palsy of his right arm, and it's only about maybe 18 inches long. No.
This is 30 years ago, you say?
30 years ago, and it's a birth defect. But and so he has no strength at all in his right arm. But his mom put him into water ski lessons, piano lessons, drum lessons.
She was unimpacted by his limitations.
The mom was absolutely perfect in raising. Wow. And his name is Paul Fatek. Paul Fatek. He shows up as a ski instructor candidate and becomes a great ski instructor.
Wow.
Really good. We stayed in touch. Well, Paul went on to become a very successful businessman. He became a TED Talk specialist.
I read about him, yeah.
And then he went and climbed the 7 highest peaks on the planet in every continent, finishing with Mount Everest.
Now his wife accompanies him.
Denise
on
went with him,
right?
Yeah, they're
that's
two
insane.
a high power distance athletes.
What an inspiration! So that's your deal, is really inspiring people that they can do things beyond what they think they can do.
Paul did this. I mean, he climbed Mount Everest with one arm. So on the 10-year anniversary last year, he sends me an email and says, if you can do 29,029 feet, which is the height of Mount Everest, in 1 month, either running or bicycling,
just cover it. Yeah,
I'll send you a free copy of my book signed. I want the book. I want the book. So I take the challenge and I do it. I did it 30,000 vertical feet, living in San Clemente, California.
Right.
But then I thought,
so you're doing this on a regular basis, daily, going out and doing.
Right, I'm running every day. I'm running trails. I run 5 miles every morning on a trail, so I'm getting in 1,000 vertical feet. So I'm guaranteed my 30.
And you started getting into the cycling.
Started riding mountain bikes.
Right.
And so then all of a sudden I thought, darn, I'm gonna do this 12 months.
So how many miles would you ride in a typical day?
Oh, sometimes 20. Sometimes I'd go
Yeah.
from San Clemente to Dana Point and back twice. So that's 40 miles.
So if you could do that, day after day after day, and you add them together linearly across the country,
exactly,
you could do this.
Well, and then I'm 6 months into doing this every single month. I get an invitation to my high school reunion in New Jersey.
There's the trigger. Okay.
I'm going, I'll just ride my bike. I'm already doing the workouts.
Right.
I'll just string them along.
And you did it.
And I went across in 89 days.
And you're going to do it again.
I got back, and 2 months later, I'm staying in touch with Paul, and I was very fortunate. I was able to raise, I've got the shirt on here.
Let's see it. Yeah.
I was able to raise $29,000 for the Challenged Athletes Foundation.
Right on.
So Paul got me involved with this charity because that's the charity that he supports.
Amazing
I
charity.
called him and said,
I support it as well, yeah.
So I went, I got to do this again. And so there was a big event in San Diego, October 24th this year, and it was a triathlon. And I did a team event. Paul was the swimmer with one arm. I was the bicyclist doing the 41 miles. He did the 1.5 mile swim. And then we had a runner, Tori Mungo, and I hope I said her name right. Tori is a quad amputee.
Right.
She was an athlete, and in 2019 went into septic shock in the hospital and woke up with no hands and no feet.
Now, most people would see this as quite the limitation.
She just decided to keep going.
Wow.
And so she started doing mutter races as an amputee. And she got blades. She got sponsored by Challenged Athletes Foundation.
Fantastic.
And that's what this charity does, is
Yeah.
it helps these people. So she was our runner. So that's our team. A guy with one arm, me riding the bicycle, and a woman with no hands and no feet running with blades doing the 10-mile
So
run.
inspirational. I mean,
At the finish
and
line.
we think we can't do.
Oh, we can't. Yeah, I think we can't do it.
Anything.
It's sitting on a couch. I can't
Yeah.
ride my bike to the bicycle to,
I
to
can't
the
go to the
grocery
store,
store.
yeah.
So this is the inspiration that inspired me to do this again. So now my second trip across country, I don't have to be there at a certain time frame for the high school reunion. I can stop and meet
So
with
you
people
can have
like
more
you.
impact
Yes.
in various ways because you're not tied down to the certain
And I can
schedule.
meet people along the way and have them join me on my ride. Challenged athletes in wheelchairs, people that have bicycle, like on my first ride. At the end of my first ride, Tara, 17 years old, met me for the last mile and a half getting into Asbury Park, New Jersey. She's an amputee. She's got a bicycle leg, she's got a surfing leg, she's got a running leg. And we rode together with a police escort through the town of Asbury Park to the beach on August 6th, summer of 2021. And that's where we had my ceremony of putting the front tire
into the
Atlantic.
ocean. Yeah,
And
that's
so
wonderful.
what a great,
Amazing.
great system we have.
So speaking of gear, by the way,
Right.
What's up with this? The ski.
So, I
equipment.
spent years in the ski industry. And
This is not a typical cross country or any kind of cyclist setup here. So
no. So this has actually become my logo.
yeah, that's
So this look
very
is my
distinctive.
Yeah. But after a couple times of riding and having tree branches on the side of a major freeway or a highway rip off your
It's
glasses.
kind of the Deadpool look, that
Yeah.
movie. It just occurred to me.
But I just thought I've
Yeah.
got to protect my eyes.
Yeah.
And the sun all day long.
Yeah, so for you though, that's a very comfortable thing because you had so many years skiing, and
I spent
you're
over
accustomed
30
to it.
yeah, 30
and so
years.
you went a little outside of the box. It's like what's going to work, not what's everyone else doing.
Correct.
Which is a big part of your my whole scene. So,
Right. One of
yeah.
my sponsors is also Solumbra.
Okay.
So Solumbra makes this material which is 100% UV protection. So I don't have to put out any suntan lotion. You spend
Wow, yeah.
4 months in the sun
You're going to
over
get
the
fried.
summer.
Yeah, and I know
or longer.
being living out here in the desert.
Yeah, so this has vents on it. This
Right.
has vents. The pants have vents, and this keeps me cool all
Yeah,
day
most
long.
people
It
think
pumps
that
air.
having yourself bare is the best way to go, but clearly that is not
no,
the
this
way.
is
Yeah.
this is great, and I usually never even wear a shirt underneath.
Yeah, well, let's see your
So
jersey here.
And what's kind of cool is when I do go into a grocery store or like a small convenience store on the side of the road, people will do this. They'll put their hands
like you're gonna pull off
a robbery.
crime. Huh? Okay.
But this is the Challenged Athletes logo that I use, and what a great company they are. So this is the reason that I'm now riding. My first reason was a combination of the Challenged Athletes Foundation and just getting to
Let's
my high
see your
school
eyes, by
reunion.
the way. I know you're comfortable with that, but
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. I live all day long with
yeah,
this stuff
it's just
on.
normal.
And then I have if I take all this, look,
Right.
can I take it all off?
Yeah,
Yeah. So, because some people don't know what I look like, so I travel with this. This comes off first, and it's got a flashing light on the back of it, so that I'm really. I run with five
yeah.
lights
It's hard to miss you. Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
And I only ride during the day. I don't ride
Smart,
at nighttime.
yeah.
And so this comes off, and then with the
All right, so you're not an alien. You're actually,
I'm actually
a human being.
a real human being. So
Awesome.
So this is very rarely will I ever ride like this, but when I do, I put on white sleeves.
Right. Yeah.
And it's the only reason I would
ride the same
ever
way.
ride like
Right.
this is because I have a really big headwind. because
so you want to minimize
this stuff
the
has
effect of the wind.
way too much drag on it.
Yeah. Which and your bike is what, 90 pounds or so with everything
the gear
loaded?
that you see on this bike, the bike itself.
This is the bike right here, by the way.
Yeah, it's a Surly long haul disc trucker,
right?
Steel frame, designed to go around the world.
Indestructible. Those are
it's the best.
Yeah,
it is heavy though, probably 30 pounds,
well,
and you add 60 pounds of gear on that, you're looking at.
But a lighter, like carbon fiber bike couldn't tolerate what you put it through.
Just the bridges that I go over have the expansion cracks.
Right.
Those are some of the worst places where you got to be careful you don't bend a rim.
Yeah.
So you have to. So you're constantly looking and making sure that you're safe. And I have run a really big rear view mirror. So I have a mirror that I'm always looking at. So it's the safety today of, and that's something I could thank all the viewers here is thank you for giving the wide berth that you give to bicyclists. Because that's so important today because it's dangerous on the roads, yet bicycling is the most efficient form of transportation, even more than walking, because you can coast.
If we all cycled, boy, the carbon footprint would be just down to nothing. Let's get to something that's near and dear to my heart, and that is minimalism. Now, compared to you, I've been very frugal as long as you've known me. But even more recently, I've gone ultra frugal and have become, genuinely a minimalist, where it's just like, if
this is your studio.
If this is our studio.
I love it.
and this is our director.
And your lighting is
Mother Nature. Right? So I've become quite the minimalist, but compared to Paul Webb, I am super amateur. Paul, tell us about what makes you to be someone considered a minimalist. What is it about, your...
Well, what you're looking at here and the possessions you see that I have here,
and
we'll
throw in some shots of the bike.
I'm kind of have that Zen look. It's not my bike, it's the bike. And so I've never really been a person that had a lot of ownership to things.
I know this. Yeah, you've been inspirational to me through the years too. So.
Right, and so because things are changed so much and nothing is permanent.
You're right.
And so I've pared down to my necessities. And what is a necessity? It's food, shelter, clothing.
You got some air to breathe?
Yeah, Maslow's theory of hierarchy. Right. You can look at, but self-actualization is at the top of that, being the best you can be at what you do. Right. And so that's why I can't drink alcohol, because if I did, I'd want to be the best.
It impairs your excellence.
I'd want to be the best at it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah.
If I drank alcohol, I want to be the best. I'd be
that
a
reminds
total
me
drunk.
of the Rich Roll story.
Yes.
He's one of those guys that pushes and goes all in no matter what he's doing. So if it's about substance abuse, he's going to go all in.
He's going to be the best.
Right. Okay.
He's going to be the best. So I wanted to be to where what you see on this bike and about 60 pounds, I have nothing in storage.
Mm-hmm. This is it.
This is it. As far as an address, I have a place where I have a suite where things can be mailed to. It doesn't look like a P.O. box, but it really is.
And if you could get away without not having that,
I wouldn't even have that.
You wouldn't have that, yeah.
No, but my address now is P.O. Box Earth.
Yeah.
That's because I live on the planet.
Yeah. If we all had that mindset, wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah.
Well,
we're all in this together.
How can I leave the lightest footprint on this planet in the time that I'm here?
Right.
And if I can do it in an inspirational way, people inspire me. The athletes, challenge athletes inspire me. But in a gas station, when someone sees what I'm doing, they ask what I'm doing. I tell them I went to my 50-year high school reunion. You can see they do the calculation. Wow, this guy's got to be 68 years old.
Yeah.
And
this is not likely.
I just rode
possible.
Drove my car to the gas station. I only live 2 miles away.
And I'm in a Hummer, or
and
giant
I'm in
pickup.
a big vehicle that's using a lot of energy. How can I be as most energy efficient? Mm-hmm. So my life has come down to what's the example? If you look in the mirror and that's what you want to see the change in the world, every day I want to see how can I improve that.
It's funny. I sold my house and almost everything I had, and I think you can see the motorhome, in the back of the shot. And my wife and I, that was our house. That was our address. And I thought, wow, I'm really cutting back. But it meant I had a kitchen and a bathroom, a bedroom, a motor.
Yeah, my kitchen is a spoon. I don't have a fork or a knife. Don't need that. Just a spoon.
Amazing.
So
Yeah.
that's how much I've pared down. And I absolutely love the simplicity of it.
Right.
And it's, you know what, Michael? It's a freedom.
Well, that's, for me, that was the biggest, attraction, was that if you can get to freedom,
Yes.
the happiness is on the other side as a side effect.
Yes.
It's not about pursuing happiness. It's something that happens when you release things that don't matter.
And I believe,
And then you're truly free,
Yep.
you're liberated, and then incredible things start to happen.
people ask me, well, how can you do this? I've always been an athlete, and people say, well, I'm not an athlete. I said, well, wait a minute.
All
I think
are
everybody
underneath, yeah.
is an athlete, an
Yeah.
artist, a politician.
Yeah, they're created that way.
We're all
Yeah.
that. Every one of us is that. It's just, what do we have that's holding us back? What have we created around our life that doesn't allow that to come out?
And it's usually things that we need to relinquish.
So,
yeah.
Michelangelo, having carved David out of, the marble.
Yeah, he was
said,
asked, how do you do that? How did you do this amazing, sculpture?
Michael, he said, was always in there. He just took the things
taking
away.
the things away that
So his
didn't-
chisel
weren't part
never
of it. Yeah.
touched David.
Right, that's a good one.
So what barriers do we need to take away? Well, I can't do this. I can't. Well, there's an inspiration. When you say I can't, what can you do? People that have lost limbs because of accidents or
Yeah.
birth defects or challenges in their life do amazing things to inspire other people. And that's
Imagine
what,
people that don't have those limitations, what
Exactly.
their capabilities
like Paul having
truly are.
Paul
Yeah.
having one arm, and meeting people and challenged athletes say to him, "What's your problem? You have one arm." It's like
One
keep
whole
going.
arm. Yeah. Wow.
Keep going.
Wow.
And so every day I get up, I ride my bike, I find the freedom in the movement. I'm doing breathing exercises.
Yeah, you're forced to be in sort of a meditative state, right? Where all these external factors just kind of melt away, and you're left with your body, your mind, your breath, and you're truly here. Like, most of us rarely ever find that spot. Right?
Being in the moment, not thinking about past or what's going to happen in the future. That's the
true
place.
freedom, right?
That's the true
Yeah.
freedom. And Viktor Frankl's book, A Man's Search for Meaning, the only power you can't take away from
What a
people
fantastic book.
is
Anybody that hasn't read,
is their ability
Frankl.
to choose.
Yeah.
It's your ability to
it's
choose.
make decisions that can never be taken away from
No
us.
one can
Yeah.
ever take that away from you. So my decision is I've chosen a lifestyle to inspire. I can't make anybody do anything. We don't have power over the people, but you can inspire and you can motivate people through giving them access to information they've never had before. And that's awareness. What is the awareness? For me, all day long, oxygenated blood, nutrient-dense food. If I get a little twinge in my knee as I stop immediately.
Well, you're aware of it, yeah?
I'm missing something.
Yeah.
My body is speaking
Yeah.
to me. What is
Right.
the awareness that I
You're
need?
tuned in. Yeah.
I need more oxygen to that portion of my body, or I need nutrient-dense food to that part of my body, and then I'll continue. I never ride my bike uncomfortable. I'm always 100% comfort.
Awesome.
And how many people at my age, at 68, can ride a bike with no sore muscles?
Yeah.
And ride every single
And
day
Paul,
after day after day.
Something tells me that you're going to keep doing this for quite a long time, and I'm going to chase after you. I'm going to
Michael, I
follow
look
you and see
forward
what
to
you're
it.
doing, and we're going to stay connected. But man, what a pleasure. It's so great to see you again,
pleasure.
and thanks for being here.
Thanks, man.